Hello, my laser loving friends. Welcome back to another episode of Laser Secrets, your no fluff podcast for aesthetic pros, laser techs, and curious minds who want to master the art of results. I'm Jamie. I'm a med spa owner, medical aesthetics educator, a consultant, and laser obsessed go to person for all things med spa with laser. And today we're diving into something I get asked about constantly lately, and we can thank social media for this. I'm talking about frosting. So, not on cupcakes, but I'm talking about that cloudy white layer that shows up right after you fire a laser on a tattoo. So, let's talk about what is it? What does it mean? Is it a good thing? Should every treatment have it? We're going to bust some myths and break it down. So let's start with what frosting actually is. So when you fire a laser during tattoo removal, we're either using a Q switch laser or pico laser. The energy hits the particles and causes rapid heating. This creates an effect called photoacoustic fragmentation. This is the breaking of the pigment into tiny particles so your body can clear them through the lymphatic system. But here's the fun biophysics part. The rapid heat causes the formation of gas bubbles, specifically steam and carbon dioxide under the skin. That gas expands, lifts into the upper layers of the skin, reflects light, creating that familiar white frosted appearance. And here's where it gets even cooler, literally. My med spa glow laser aesthetics, we pre-chill the skin using ice packs and our Zimmer cryo chiller. This is, in my opinion, the most humane way to do laser touch removal. This keeps clients comfortable and reduces unwanted thermal damage as well. That chilling process actually makes the upper skin layer cooler than the tissue beneath. So when your body creates those hot gas bubbles, they interact with the cold surface and creating, even more of a visual effect of frosting. It's a real life display of thermodynamics, and seriously, how cool is that? So, what does frosting tell us and what it doesn't tell us? It can be really, really satisfying to see frosting, and clients love to see it. But it's not really your end goal, and we shouldn't be chasing frosting every time. It just tells you the laser is interacting with something in the skin, which is ink in this case, but it doesn't mean the tattoo is gone. It doesn't tell you how much ink was broken up or how effectively the body will clear it. So it does tell you that energy was absorbed, pigment was disrupted, and the tissue was heated to the point of gas formation. That's truly it. And yes, you can have a successful treatment without visible frosting, especially in faded or lightly inked areas. So let's also talk about the social media myths out there that have people thinking there is a laser that does one and done. I'll tell you a quick story. A friend of mine came into my shop a few weeks ago and we were talking about removing one of his tattoos. And he said to me super casually, "So, will you ever get that laser that gets rid of tattoos in one treatment?" I saw this video where it was done in one session. And I was like, this is those videos that just show frosting without explaining further, which is totally fine. But a lot of times, and I know we have all seen this, it can be very misleading because these places are showing these videos and kind of passing it off like it was removed in one session. And I get this question all the time during laser tattoo removal consultations. We all know the truth. There is no laser in the world that removes an entire tattoo in one treatment, period, the end. That would be amazing if it was created, but we all know that it takes time. And unless they want a very nasty scar, which none of us who are responsible would do that to someone, it's not going to be removed in one session. Tattoo removal takes time and it's not one size fits all. So really, just to recap, like what to expect or what kind of expectations to set with clients on laser tattoo removal, most need 8 to 12 treatments. And I like to space our treatments 10 to 12 weeks apart, sometimes more. Other factors that go into how many sessions it will take is, for one, saturation of the ink. A solid black tattoo that's deep and dark, and even some of those more vivid inks, they can take a little longer. Depth of ink placement. So once the ink goes deeper into the dermis, that's more layers that we need to smash the ink. I've literally had ring tattoos take longer than full sleeves because we're talking about silos of ink into the skin, not surface area. So that's where the depth of ink really comes into play, which really, when we're looking at a tattoo during a consultation, it's oftentimes hard to determine this. If someone does have raised areas, that means they have a little bit of scar tissue as well. If the tattoo artist went a little deep into the hypodermis, which will cause you to create scar tissue. When you have scarring in a tattoo or those raised areas, you may even notice it may take a few sessions longer even with that, because that scar will create a backscatter of ink and reduce the energy that's actually hitting the ink fragments as well. Next, the chemical makeup of the ink. This is huge. So, a fun fact about the tattooing industry is that there is no standardization or regulation on tattoo ink. So, this means it can contain some metals, it can be carbon based, some include plastic polymers, especially these newer, more vibrant inks. So, when you apply laser energy to these different chemical compounds, which are a mystery, because even the best shops that buy the best inks, they still don't know what's in it because it doesn't need to be disclosed. So when you apply that laser energy, sometimes interesting things can happen. Inks can change color. Some are a little more resistant, but in my over 5 years, almost 6 years of doing laser tattoo removal, I still have never met a tattoo that I couldn't remove. I do have an awesome device. I use the Quanta Evo Q plus C Q switch, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So moving on to other factors, the body's lymphatic response is a big factor as well. So your body is actually what's clearing those shattered particles. The laser is the catalyst. So thinking about how someone's lymphatic system is running, if they move, get a little exercise, they eat fairly clean, they drink plenty of water, live a cleaner lifestyle, typically their lymphatic system's running a little smoother. If you smoke, have poor circulation, maybe some liver function issues, your detox system may be a little more sluggish, that can take a little longer too. I do love to recommend they add things like, and not the week of the actual treatment, but afterward, you can do saunas for detoxification. You can add things like dandelion tea, lemon to your water, things like that. And I also recommend they drink plenty of water. And I give them a goal of half their body weight in ounces of water. This seems to be that sweet spot where they're staying nice and hydrated, but they're helping their lymphatic system as well. And more is better. And staying consistent with their treatment protocol. I love that, like 10 to 12 weeks apart. Longer is fine too, because really time is our friend when it comes to tattoo removal. And I've had clients that discontinued for a little while for whatever reason, and I see them 6 months to a year later, and it looks like they've had another session or two because their body is still picking at that last treatment. Really, I explain it like it's a Rubik's Cube. Every tattoo is unique. Every person is unique. Even tattoos on the same person can move differently depending on what's in that ink, how deep that tattoo was implanted. Was the artist like heavier handed, different colors? All that really makes a difference. And where it's located on their body too. So think like closer to the lymphatic concentrations of lymph nodes, like essentially in our creases, axillary lymph nodes under the arms, inguinal fold, so right at the hip through their abdomen, higher concentrations there. So the closer we are to those areas, the faster it'll clear as well. Now, this is where your consultation game matters. When a client sees these frosting videos, we want to manage their expectations, and this really does help to build trust through education. So here's how I would explain it in a nutshell. I would say what you're seeing is a temporary frosting effect. It's your skin reacting to gas bubbles forming after the laser hits the ink. It's not the ink coming out of the tattoo or the tattoo disappearing instantly. The real results happen slowly over the next few weeks as your body flushes out the shattered pigment. Boom, clear, professional, and trust building. You might want to add, not every session will frost, and that's totally normal. It doesn't mean it didn't work. It just depends on how much ink is still present closer to the surface where we see that steam effect happening. And that's the pigment that we're targeting. Okay, so let's do a quick frosting recap. So frosting is a visual reaction to steam and gas bubbles caused by rapid laser heating of ink particles. Chilling the skin beforehand, like with ice packs or a Zimmer chiller, will enhance the frosting appearance due to temperature contrast. So think about steam hits cold, it creates frost, like on a window. It's not a sign that the tattoo's gone. It's a short-term effect, and it's a very surface level effect, and it will go away in a few minutes. Tattoo removal typically takes 8 to 12 sessions, give or take, due to ink chemistry, saturation, placement, and the individual's response to the treatment. There is no laser that removes a tattoo in one treatment. I wish there was, and if there was, trust me, I would be trying to get it. So next time you see frosting or clients asking about it, take a moment to appreciate the physics behind it, how cool it is, no pun intended. But don't let it become the star of the show. Educate clients. This means they'll trust you, it builds loyalty, and it positions you as that more confident, knowledgeable provider as well. So if this episode gave you some points to use during consults or helped you ditch a few frosty myths, I'd love to hear about it. Please tag me. I'm on Instagram, Laser Secrets Consulting. I'd love to get a DM. I love hearing from you guys. And don't forget, if you want to feel even more confident with tattoo removal, RF microneedling, and laser body contouring, those are my specialties. I do offer one-on-one coaching sessions, and you can get with me on Laser Secrets Consulting on Instagram, DM me, or email me at lasersecrets@yahoo.com. And if you love this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow aesthetic pros. If you have questions, suggestions, I would love to hear from you. Until next time, stay confident, stay curious, and here's to having the best laser results ever. Have a beautiful day.